The WNBA has officially been rocked by what's now being called the biggest officiating scandal of 2025, and at the center of it all stands the Indiana Fever. What was supposed to be a thrilling playoff series between the Fever and the Las Vegas Aces has spiraled into something much darker, a controversy so massive that even the league's top brass can no longer sweep it under the rug. The league's integrity, its players' safety, and even its future as a professional sports organization are all on the line. It all started when Fever head coach Stephanie White took the podium after Game 3, visibly frustrated, and unleashed one of the most explosive press conferences in basketball history. Her message was simple but devastating: the WNBA's officiating was rigged. White didn't just complain about bad calls, she brought receipts. And those receipts forced the WNBA to open an emergency investigation into referee bias that could expose one of the most damning conspiracies in modern sports. The numbers alone tell a shocking story. Across the first 3 games of the Fever Aces playoff series, there was a staggering -31 free throw discrepancy against Indiana. That's not just a fluke. Statisticians have already confirmed that such an imbalance is nearly impossible to achieve without deliberate interference. The Fever, a team known for aggressively attacking the rim, somehow ended up with fewer than half the free throw attempts of their opponents. That's not bad officiating, that's manipulation. And as it turns out, multiple teams had already filed complaints about this exact referee crew before the playoffs began. The WNBA ignored every single one. Then came the bombshell that blew the case wide open. Yesterday morning, a leaked audio recording surfaced online. It featured one of the referees assigned to the series saying, "We know what needs to happen," in a conversation about making sure Vegas advances. Within hours, the recording was authenticated by multiple independent sources, and the referee was suspended. But it was already too late. The damage was done, and the WNBA could no longer pretend this was business as usual. Stephanie White wasn't done. In her follow-up interview today, she took things a step further. Pulling out her tablet, she showed frame-by-frame footage of 27 uncalled fouls against Indiana players in Game 3 alone. 27. Each one meticulously time-stamped and cross-referenced with rulebook violations. The most shocking clip showed Aja Wilson literally shoving Alia Boston to the floor, no whistle. Meanwhile, Fever guard Lexi Hull was called for a foul while standing 3 feet away from her opponent. Reporters in the room were stunned. One veteran journalist described the evidence as the most damning proof of referee corruption I've seen in 3 decades. But this isn't just about biased referees. It's about money, big money. Sportsbooks had unusually lopsided betting odds in favor of Las Vegas, and millions of dollars poured in just hours before Game 2 tipped off. Data analysts later found that 92% of prop bets related to free throw differentials went in Vegas's favor. That kind of movement doesn't happen by chance. It happens when someone knows the outcome before the game starts. The FBI has now launched a formal investigation into potential match fixing, and several major betting companies have suspended all WNBA wagers until further notice. In the middle of all this chaos, Lexi Hull has become an unexpected symbol of resistance. Despite playing through 2 herniated discs and needing help to walk to the bench, she refused to quit. Her gutsy 16-point performance in Game 3, including 8 three-pointers over 2 games, now stands as a testament to pure willpower in the face of corruption. The Fever's medical staff has since confirmed that Hull should never have been cleared to play, but she insisted on suiting up, saying later that someone had to stand up for what's right. And now others are joining her. 3 referees from separate crews have stepped forward as whistleblowers, alleging that they were pressured to favor marketable teams during the 2025 season. They've handed over text messages, emails, and recorded phone calls that outline a culture of systematic manipulation. One message reads, "Assignments depend on who understands what outcomes help the league." Another reveals that officials who refused to go along were threatened with losing their jobs. Even more disturbing are the internal emails that leaked this morning from inside the Las Vegas Aces organization. In one exchange, executives discussed specific referees by name, saying they could be counted on. Another email bluntly states, "Assign refs who understand the assignment." The Aces have publicly denied any wrongdoing, but the evidence piling up says otherwise. Former WNBA players have since come forward with their own stories of suspicious officiating in past games against Vegas, including one All-Star who says a ref told her, "Stop complaining or it'll get worse." The fallout has been nothing short of seismic. Fans at Gainbridge Fieldhouse chanted "Investigate the refs" for 5 straight minutes during the Fever's last home game, forcing a stoppage of play. Social media exploded with the hashtag #RefGate, which has now trended worldwide for 3 consecutive days. NBA players, celebrities, and sports commentators are all demanding a complete overhaul of WNBA officiating. One young fan's sign showing a picture of Lexi Hull in pain with the words "We deserve fair basketball" has gone viral, becoming the defining image of this scandal. The financial consequences could cripple the league. 2 Fortune 500 sponsors are reportedly preparing to suspend their partnerships if the allegations prove true. Season ticket renewals for 2026 have already been paused across several franchises, and analysts estimate that the league could lose up to $200 million in revenue if trust isn't restored immediately. Ironically, playoff ratings have soared by 40%, but it's the wrong kind of attention. The world isn't tuning in for great basketball, it's watching a scandal unfold in real time. The data analysis paints an even uglier picture. In Game 2, when Indiana led by 8 points, referees called 6 fouls against them in a 3-minute stretch, effectively killing their momentum. In Game 3, every time the Fever closed within 2 possessions, a foul mysteriously appeared. Statisticians estimate the odds of such timing happening naturally at less than 0.001%. This isn't random. It's orchestrated. Stephanie White's bravery has sparked something bigger than one playoff series. Coaches across the league are now coming forward with their own stories, revealing that they were threatened with fines of up to $50,000 if they criticized officiating publicly. One coach says they have a folder containing 300 questionable calls from this season alone but were too afraid to speak out until now. The WNBA Coaches Association is reportedly exploring legal action against the league for suppressing free speech. The players' safety implications are horrifying. Independent medical experts reviewing footage found at least 15 uncalled flagrant fouls that could have caused serious injuries. Aaliyah Boston was elbowed in the head, no whistle. Another player suffered bruised ribs after being body-checked into the scorer's table. Because these weren't called as fouls, the league's concussion protocol wasn't even triggered. This goes beyond unfair competition, it's player endangerment. The international fallout is growing too. European basketball executives are now reconsidering partnerships with the WNBA, and several international stars are reportedly backing out of future contracts, fearing they'll never get a fair game unless they play for the right team. What was supposed to be a global expansion moment for women's basketball could now turn into its biggest setback in decades. Behind the scenes, investigators are piecing together a chilling timeline. The same referee crew at the center of the Fever Aces controversy worked 8 Vegas games during the regular season, all Vegas wins, all with major free throw imbalances. Database analysis shows that this crew called 73% more fouls against Vegas opponents than the league average. That's not coincidence. That's a pattern, one that should have triggered review long ago. Now, lawsuits are piling up. Fans are suing the league for fraud, claiming they paid for fair competition but got scripted outcomes instead. Attorneys are comparing it to the quiz show scandals of the 1950s, where audiences thought they were watching competition, but it was all pre-arranged entertainment. When you sell competition but deliver a script, one lawyer said, that's fraud. The human cost of this corruption is perhaps the most tragic part of all. Players like Lexi Hull and Aaliyah Boston gave everything on the court believing in the purity of the game, only to find out the deck was stacked against them. The betrayal cuts deep, and the emotional toll on athletes who discover their passion has been manipulated for profit is immeasurable. Yet in the midst of this chaos, a sense of unity has emerged. Rival teams are standing together. Players from across the league are demanding reform. Even some Las Vegas athletes have privately admitted they're disgusted by what's come to light. "I want to win fairly or not at all," one Aces player reportedly told her teammates. The WNBA now stands at a crossroads. Preliminary findings from the ongoing investigation are expected next week, and insiders say the evidence is overwhelming. There are talks of independent officiating oversight, new technology for automated foul detection, and even whispers, however unlikely, of restarting the playoffs. Whatever happens next, the league will never be the same again. Stephanie White's courage has already changed history. By choosing integrity over silence, she's forced the entire league to confront its darkest truths. Years from now, we may look back on this scandal as the moment women's basketball finally demanded accountability and refused to be silenced.